Once, in a land where the ancient wisdom of the stars intertwined with the daily lives of its inhabitants, a young seeker named Elara embarked on a journey to understand the mysteries of the self and the cosmos. Her journey led her to a sage named Orion, who was known for his profound understanding of the universe and the human soul. One evening, as they sat by the glowing embers of a campfire under a star-studded sky, Elara began their discussion. When we talked about coherence, you mentioned that ego means I, and that without the I, you cannot reach the Am. You also said that selfishness is the movement of the self, and egocentrism is the belief that one is the center of everything. But tell me, what truly is the self? Orion smiled, the firelight dancing in his eyes. The I is several things, but one of them is the construction of all external factors. The self is the result of data, information accumulated through your biological history, both from the species that have made you live today and from your own family tree. The self is a cultural construction, which has shaped your way of speaking, thinking, feeling, and acting to live in harmony with the environment that surrounds you. It is in turn the result of all your experiences and the final product of the stars that condition your personality. It is all your attributes and your weaknesses, your mistakes and your successes. It is the construction of the person, who you say you are, how you present yourself, how the world knows you. And it is the center from which all your relationships and links with others are generated, since the self is the point of reference that makes others know who you are and what you are in relation to them. Elara pondered this deeply. So, I am almost an anchor, a mirror. I am the result of external factors. It's like when you explain to me that the tree is not green, but rather the refraction of the ranges of light that are divided in the photosynthesis process carried out by chlorophyll. And our eyes see said color due to our ability to perceive said range of light. But it does not mean that the trees are green, but rather it is the color that I can see of the tree. The self would be like that color, which is the result of many mechanisms that make it who it is, even if it is not real. Exactly, Orion agreed. All external factors refer to every force that has shaped who I am, from the biological to the experiential personal, including the climate, the territory in which I am born, the culture and religion, how my parents have treated me, or whether I didn't have them. All the factors of the world that surround us modify and mold the self. But what about the stars? Elara asked, gazing up at the night sky. Everything is connected, Orion explained. Even if in society it is believed that things are separated by distance, in the microcosm distance does not exist. The stars that are hundreds or thousands of light years away for the universe are light that you see and perceive, like the green of the tree. They are and they are not. They exist and they do not exist. But they modify our internal world when we see them, even if what we see is the past. All light you see in the sky does not live in the present, but is the past of each star, the time it takes for the light to reach you. So, in the same way, this relativity means that the particles that make up those stars are the same ones that make you up. And when you are born, it is as if your light combined with theirs. Thus, you occupy a new individual space in creation and receive the sign of the stars that you observe. Think about what is closest to you. How do you feel in spring, in summer, in autumn and winter? Orion continued. Seasons change yourself every 3 months. Think now about the moon and the sun. Day and night influence your mood, the way you are in life. The moon, with its gravity, drives the tides in the oceans, creating waves, moving the waters of the world. And you, human, are 70% water and emotion. This is why it influences creativity, emotions, and the menstrual cycle. Then you have Venus and Mars, and the farther away you go, the more subtle the modification or effect on you. If the sun shows what you are during the day to others, the moon will show what you are inside at night. Venus, Mercury, and Mars will influence your daily attitudes in relation to communication, love, and the will to act. Meanwhile, Jupiter and Saturn mark something more distant, your purposes, challenges, and missions, something that is not every day, but far on the horizon. And then, the imperceptible, your subconscious and unconscious, the search for inner truth, the spiritual path of Uranus and Neptune, until at the end of the path, death is found in Pluto. And the constellations that surround all the planets are the character, the essence, with which you will face each of these levels. Thus, astronomy and astrology are one more factor that modifies your being. But perhaps for many this is too far away, so you must go to the center of your own solar system, your plexus. Elara nodded, understanding dawning in her eyes. You then are the Earth, the center of your life system. But everything that comes to you, you owe to your mother, the first closest star you have in your life, the moon. This is where the real construction of your personality begins. The internal world that nourishes your being is the information of the waters that your mother moves, just like the moon in the heavens. In the darkness, she's the only one you can trust until you see the light of day. When you leave the cave, from the night of creation, from the waters and the emotion, you see the light, and with that light, the face of the Father, the Son. Thus, your life begins to rely on both forces, Dad and Mom, the sun and the moon. Your life revolves around both, and day by day you live closer, sometimes to one and sometimes to the other, expressing yourself, experimenting in the game, integrating learning, and transcending the unnecessary. That is, you live your spring, summer, autumn, and winter. So, throughout life, you awaken the strength of play, of friends, of conflicts between your parents, siblings, and friends, the struggle to grow, and you see Mars in his face. Until your emotion for the beauty of life awakens, and you fall in love, awakening the force of Venus in adolescence. As you grow in the experience of Venus and Mars, you begin the quest to find yourself in learning and sharing with others, the presence of Mercury. And when you finish adolescence, school, you set a long-term life project, your purpose, what you want to be as an adult, and what you want to be successful at. Our profession is Jupiter, who lives in the faces of our idols and role models. But in order to obtain what we seek, we must go through the harsh tests of life, the professors, teachers, bosses with the face of Saturn. And one day, you realize that everything you were looking for does not satisfy you. And you begin to search for answers that are beyond you. You search for the path of truth, the answers that you will find in the spiritual or philosophical, and in the teachers. In life, you will see the face of Uranus until you realize that everything others can teach you lies within you, in the vast oceans of your internal world, where you find the most hidden answers in the subconscious, and you see yourself like Neptune. Thus you realize that the only way to emerge as a new human, a new self, is by letting the old die, the crisis of being and existence, which you will see with the face of Pluto. Orion paused, letting the words sink in. Unity does not mean being together. The planets have a lot of space between them, otherwise they could collide. That's what happens when, instead of each one following their orbit, they try to get closer, converging with the orbit of the others. The planets collide. The ego is that which tries to keep everyone in their orbits, in themselves. The I am lives in you, Orion concluded. You just have to discover it, and the only way to do it in life is through the I. Live then, being yourself, feel without fear of letting go, of losing or gaining ties. Remember that you are the center of your solar system, and that no matter how far away others are, the force of gravity, which you will call love, will inevitably unite them. Sometimes moving away is simply preventing the planets from colliding, creating the total destruction of both celestial bodies. Find your axis, awaken the artist in you, stop fighting with the only force that moves you in life. Be yourself once and for all, and there you will feel me. Elara felt a deep sense of clarity and purpose. She understood that her journey was about embracing her true self, her ego, and recognizing the divine I am within her. As she gazed up at the stars, she felt a profound connection to the universe and the wisdom it held. I am who I am, she whispered to the night sky, feeling the unity and creativity within her soul. Thank you for being here. If you liked what you heard, please let me know in the comments below. And if you've gotten this far, you might as well like this episode and subscribe. As always, thank you for listening. Remember to be yourself.